We're here in Turkey. Turkey's been high on our list of places to visit, so we'll be spending about a week in Cappadocia and 2 weeks in Istanbul. And we have quite a few activities planned. We have a hot air balloon day planned. We have a coffee workshop in Istanbul, and we'll be doing, as usual, a whole lot of walking around and eating everything in sight. First day here, we did a hot air balloon tour, and it's the off season right now, and it's the off season because it's kind of the middle towards the end of winter, and it's about, well, the day we did the hot air balloon tour, it was a total of 3 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And, you know, the hot air balloons aren't really heated on the inside there. You're kind of just exposed to the elements. So we went up there, bundled up in all our winter clothes, our gloves, our beanies, and all that stuff. And it was pretty cold, but the views were amazing. And for the price we paid about $60. And during the middle of the busy season in the summer, it goes up to about $200. So a bit of good savings there, and the views were still stunning nonetheless, and seeing all the balloons was definitely amazing. Aside from that, we've just been doing a lot of eating and just walking around here in Cappadocia. Cappadocia is more of a region, and there are about like 3 or 4 cities you could stay in if you're visiting here, but I would recommend probably coming here for 3 to 4 days. We're spending a week here, but we're also working, so we're kind of going at a slower pace. But if you are a big outdoors person, this is definitely a really nice area to visit. There's tons of hiking trails, tons of outdoors things to do, ATVs, the underground city, the hot air balloons. It's a very nice place to be.
These rock formations here are called fairy chimneys, the little columns with hats on top. And these fairy chimneys formed due to volcanic activity in the area a long time ago. But a long time ago, they were actually inhabited by humans. People carved out their dwellings in them. You can't really see them here, but in other instances where they're much larger structures, people lived in the rocks because they're soft and you can carve into them for protection from different war and weather. As you can see, it's snowy here, so you need protection from the elements. We're here at the Open Air Museum, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and we're here today to view all of the different churches that are on the site. It may not really look like there are churches here, but these holes in the rocks, not these in particular, on that side a little bit more, are actually basically dug out churches in the rocks. And it's pretty cool because of their location, and they're really protected from the elements and the sunlight. The original paintings are pretty preserved and still very colorful. So that's what we've come here to see. This area here in particular has a high concentration of churches because everyone basically wanted to build their own. MTV and welcome to my crib. So this is the wonderful house that Ashton built for us. You can see that he personally carved this out with his hands. Very impressive. Here's where Ashton sleeps. He used to be a little skinnier back in the day. Here is where our future child will sleep. Here's where our air fryer lives. He did really good built-in hidden electrical outlets so you can't see them. And then this is my luxurious sleeping suite. And then most importantly here we have this shape on the floor. This shape on the floor is where he personally collects water for me every single day. Although everyone told us a week would be too long here, I actually really enjoyed it. We basically got to do one activity a day, and then of course we were working in the afternoon, so there goes 8 hours every day. But there's just something really cool about waking up in the morning to the really nice scenery here. Just right outside the door of our Airbnb, you can see the fairy chimneys, and everything just has a unique architecture to it. So it was a really enjoyable place to spend a week, and we had some pretty good food as well, which was nice. In terms of activities, we did a ton of stuff: hot air balloons, ATVs, hiking. Today we did a much longer tour where they took us to Volcanic Lake, to like a stream kind of camping area. We are here in the off season. It is cold and snowy here. In the summer it's beautiful, it's warm, and I'm sure a million times more crowded than it is now. But again, there's something kind of nice about being some of the only people here, and things were just generally less crowded. Restaurants are pretty empty, so that was nice. All in all, I don't necessarily think that I need to come back here, but I would like to enjoy exploring other parts of Turkey and really appreciate, it's a big country, all of the varying types of natural landscapes and national parks that they have here. On a boat, and we are here on a sunset cruise, and it is flipping cold.
So a fun fact about the Bosphorus is it is the river that divides Europe and Asia. So on the eastern side of the river is Asia, and on the western side is Europe, and both sides are part of Istanbul. So Istanbul spans 2 continents, and it's kind of the official divider for where Europe meets Asia. My first impressions of the city is like, oh, it's like Seattle, but Middle Eastern. So that's definitely interesting. But overall, the experience has been positive. The food has been amazing, and just the mosque and the city is just very beautiful. The Bosphorus, we crossed over it on the way over from the airport to our Airbnb, and the views there are pretty magnificent, I would say. But I guess the overall experience has been good. The one downside is they're recovering from an economic hardship such as inflation, which has hit a lot of parts of the world. But here in 2024, they had 58% inflation, which is kind of a lot. But for the past few days, we've been kind of doing a little bit every day. The first day we did a walking tour, saw the Blue Mosque, the Hagia Sophia, the Sultan Square, the Egyptian Bazaar, and the Grand Bazaar. But yeah, it's been fun.
Hey! Hey! Yalla! Which one ice cream?
Turkish food in general usually consists of, I'm going to go with 3 components. It's obviously a lot more complex than that. But you got your breads, your pitas, your pides, very delicious. You have your mezes, which is kind of what you dip your pides or your pitas in, and that is also very delicious depending on where you go. And then you have your kebabs, or essentially your grilled, charcoaled, barbecued meats. And we've been to, probably about more than 50 restaurants in our 3 weeks here, and I have 3 places that kind of stand out for many different reasons. The first one is Cassius Antioch Kitchen Restaurant. That place has some really freaking good bread and some really good mezes. We ate there twice, and both times were really good. The bread is just incredibly soft, crumbly, and it really absorbs the mezes good, and it's just really, really delicious. The mezes, too, are also definitely wonderful there. The meat is good, but we ate at a place that had better meat, and that place was Ali Okbazi. Meat there, they had a open concept kitchen or grill area where you can see the meat being grilled in front of you, and we got to sit there for about 5 to 10 minutes because our table wasn't ready, and just watching them grill the meat was just absolutely amazing, seeing them prepare it like that. So of course we sat down and we ordered meat, and that was very delicious, incredibly smoky flavor, and just the technique from the grill master to be able to know exactly when to flip it and to cook it perfectly. The meat was just incredibly tender, and plus that restaurant has a very nice view over the city. So I highly recommend it for maybe like a birthday dinner or like fancy night dinner. What you got?
Delivering our 10th order of durumsi.
No tomatoes. We've been in Istanbul for about 13 days now, maybe 12. And for 10 of those days, we've eaten at this place called Durumse. Durumse? I don't really know. However, the food is freaking delicious. We've eaten there 10 times, of course. It's about like a 5-minute walk from our Airbnb. So while we're working and stuff, we just pop on over there, grab a little wrap and a little bit of lentil soup. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it out here. But this is the special wrap that I normally get. Yeah, super aesthetic, whatever. But it has a mix of the kebab meats that they have and a few veggies. I get tomatoes in mine. Immediately, you could taste the smoky flavor that they grill the meat over. They grill over some charcoals, I believe. But there's just, the meat is just super juicy and incredibly flavorful. Now, what I really like from this place is their lentil soup. It is really delicious. Amy, however, does not like it at all. But I don't really know what to describe the flavor as, but it has like a very good blend of spices in it. Definitely you could taste the lentil flavor, and it has a little bit of smokiness in it too. But it's kind of like a corn sort of soup. I guess lentils might be in the family of corn. I'm not really sure, but it is very delicious. You can definitely taste a lot of the peppers. I see a whole bunch of mix of spices. You know what? Maybe tomorrow when I eat there for the 11th time, I'll ask them what they put into it. Durumsi is located right by Taksim Square, so if you're in the area, you should check it out.
Wasn't good, so I had to go get a different one. You was like sick to that, or? I was never sick, but they said to get more, and then wow, you're brave.
So we did a coffee workshop, a Turkish coffee workshop here in Istanbul, and that was a pretty interesting experience. We had the entire class to ourselves, so the room probably fit about 10 people, but it was just us two and our instructor. And it was nice. We got the coffee grounds, we hand grinded it. Amy struggled a little bit there, and I struggled a little bit too, but not as much as she did. It was interesting. We were able to boil the coffee in hot sand, which is why I selected this one. They had a lot of other Turkish coffee classes, but you just kind of heat it over a burner, but I wanted to do it over the sand. Does the sand add anything to it besides looking cool? Not really. It tastes the exact same. And Turkish coffee, I might be a little biased here, but isn't really that good. I don't really like it because it is essentially just ground coffee in water that you boil, and you don't filter it at all or anything. You just literally drink the coffee grounds that are also in the cup, and at the bottom it gets a little silty, and your last few sips you're kind of having coffee grounds and your coffee. So it's definitely really strong though, which I really appreciate, but I think I'm more of an espresso guy.
It's towards the end of our 2 weeks here. First and foremost, Ashton ordered this fermented spicy purple carrot juice to go with his lunch, and it is quite possibly the worst thing I've ever tasted. In the ingredient list, it includes hot pepper extract in your juice, so that tells you all that you need to know about it. But I think I knew from the moment that we arrived here that I would really enjoy our time here. It's been nice. We have been busy working, but we're going at a good pace, and there's so much to do. I will say I feel very safe here and have walked around a bit alone, but we have been like ripped off by people more times than I can count, which is unfortunate, but it's still been a nice place, and I think I could actually see myself living here